good sportsmanship, and to respect our opponents, their fans, the officials, and friends of Columbus Catholic High School. Regardless of the final score, help us to appreciate the effort put forth by the players from both teams. Lead us all to you and grant us a place in your eternal kingdom. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. And now, our national anthem sung by Columbus Senior, Catherine Mallett.
Welcome to TJ McLaughlin Field, right on the campus of Waterloo, Columbus. I am Jeff Bradley, along with Marcus Chelson, where the Columbus Sailors will host the Alburnett Pirates. Pirates come in at 3-2 on the season, just broke in the 1A rankings. This is a district game tonight. Sailors going through a little tough patch this year after that semifinal run last year at 0-5. Coach Chelson, what are we thinking tonight? Alburnett's got a pretty stout team. I know Columbus went to Alburnett last year and took them out, but it's going to be a big task tonight.
Yeah, and it was a good game last year. You're exactly right, Jeff. Columbus came away out of Alburnett with the win, but Alburnett's sitting at 3-2. They've had kind of an up and down season. They'll come out 1 week, and by the scoreboard, looks like they've got things under control. Like last week, they beat a good Hudson team by about 35 points. But then they'll come out and at another game they won't look so good. So they're 3-2 on the season. The Sailors, really what they're trying to do today is they're really trying to get in that win column. You know, you want to get and kind of set your stage up for next season. You know, you're probably not going to the playoffs this year, but you want something to build on because we have a young core. We've talked about that the last couple weeks, and you really want to build on that for next year.
Coaches for the Alburnett Pirates, head coach Nicholas Woodrick, assisted by Josh Caves, Casey Schrader, Brett Woodruff. And for the Waterloo Columbus Sailors, it's going to be Brad Schmidt, head coach, Terrell Foster, Mitchell Rahm, Drew Robinson, Donald Patnode, and Caden Ludwig. Teams are just getting on the field for the kickoff. Looks like Sailors are going to receive here.
Well, we've seen some good flashes of this offense. They haven't put a ton of points on the board, but they've gained quite a few yards the last couple weeks. They had a nice 80-yard drive in the first quarter against a tough Grundy Center team and put that one in the end zone. So really the offense, the story this year has been red zone performance. Haven't converted a lot of percentage drives in the red zone. So when they get the ball deep in Pirate territory, they're going to want to put it in the zone.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And you know, the other thing is obviously it's turnovers, but it's timely turnovers. A couple pick sixes last week.
Yeah.
I know at least one against Hudson. Minimize mistakes, red zone scoring. Very good, coach. And we've got a good kickoff here. Sailors
Hosh.
bringing it right up to Owen Hosh, and he's running up that sideline and still taking ground. He's going to get up near the 40-yard line, coach.
That's a great way to start the game. Get out to the 40, get out from under the shadow of your own goalpost. Owen Hosh, the up back there, made a nice catch kind of up near his head and brought it right up the sideline, found some room, and set up field position here at the 40-yard line.
You know, a couple outstanding performers. There's a few, even though Columbus is 0-5, but both those Hosh brothers playing good football this year.
They are. Aiden Hosh actually leading 1A in receptions this year, and I think he's third in 1A in yards gained on receiving. So definitely some bright spots.
And Columbus gets in the shotgun as they always do. Just a short little handoff, and that is going to go for just 0 yards.
Well, and that's been the struggle this year. You know, they've struggled. They've gotten down early in games. They haven't gotten that running game going. So I'll be interested to see what Coach Schmidt does here. You know, at some point during the season, you got to try to establish the run.
Yeah.
But you've been playing from behind so much that, you know, it's kind of air raid.
Yeah, and the only other way to do that is you establish the pass and then run off of that. But you've got to have something you can tip your hat on.
Yep, absolutely.
Robinson back in the shotgun. It's just going to be another short little handoff. Now there's a big hole here. Rumbling, stumbling. That's going to be, I think we dropped the ball. That looks like a fumble right at the first yard down marker.
Let's see who comes away with this. A great job by the right side of that offensive line, opening a nice crease for Drew Schultz. Who are they giving possession to? Looks like the Sailors are going to keep possession here.
Yeah, it sure looks like Schultz might have dropped that or at least juggled it and then covered his own fumble. So now you're going to be about a 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2. This is a huge, huge play right away in the first part of this ball game.
Yeah, you want to set the tone right here. Rudy Lind over on the right tackle there. Sophomore opened up a nice crease for Drew Schultz. They ran behind him. They're coming out in the tush push.
I think they did get it, but it is going to be close. I'm watching this. They're running right on that line. They're probably going to – they're not even going to measure. So that he must have clearly got it. Just eyeballing it. Didn't look like it, Coach, but they're going to be right at the 50-yard line, 1st and 10.
Got a nice spot there from the side. Judge came in, gave him the ball just shy of the 50. They only had to get to the 49-yard line for the first down. So that spot gave him the first pretty easily.
Now, this is really what Columbus needs is to establish first downs, push some guys around. We saw that the very first game of the year went right down on Beckman and scored. And then it pretty much since then it's dried up.
And it fizzled out a little bit.
Well, Drew Schultz has it again. He gets tripped up for just a short gain, maybe 1 yard. And it's been about 6 straight run plays, which I don't know if Coach Schmidt's ever done that in his life. He's just got a great playbook, great play caller. Obviously, your son had a ton of yards last year. I don't know if he carried 6 times in a row, did he?
No, yeah. Brad likes to throw the ball for good reason. He's got a lot of good athletes. And what you said about his playbook, he's got a great playbook, a lot of creativity in the play calling. See what we can do here on 2nd and 9.
We got 2 out to the right, 2 out to the left. Robinson in the shotgun. It's going to be another run, though, to Schultz.
Fake.
Schultz.
Robinson
wow. Faked me out. I thought, and I was bragging on Schultz that he was going to get a first down there. And Robinson, which I've been preaching to Brad since day one, that guy's a good athlete. He needs to run the ball more.
Well, and that was great ball control. The entire stadium followed Drew Schultz to the left side.
And myself.
Robinson tucked it and went on the naked bootleg around the right end. Another great job by the offensive line. You can feel they're playing passion football right now. Coach Schmitz has really been on the O-line to get tough and drive people back, and they're doing exactly that in this first drive.
Now we've got 5 guys split out. Robinson all by himself in the shotgun. Oh, it's going to be a great screen if we can pick up one block, and that's not the block. We needed one more block to spring that. That was jailhouse break. All those linemen were on Robinson. That was set up perfect. Missed one block, so it goes for a 5-yard gain instead of maybe to the house.
It was a really nice design play. Like you said, we couldn't seal off that outside linebacker from coming out. He made a nice play coming out to make that tackle. Owen Hosh made a nice move inside, couldn't escape the shoestring tackle there, but all in all, you'll take five yards on first down every time.
Yep, good play. Now you spaced them out. You've got that in the back of their mind. Real good play by Coach Schmidt. 3 wide receivers. Got Amani Robinson getting it out of the shotgun. He's going to roll out to the left or his right. Schultz picks up a good.
What a great route.
Yep.
Owen Hosh again.
Just a good play. You had, I was going to say, you had Drew there, picked up that lineman. So no pressure on Robinson at all. Just throws a dime right to Hosh for another first down.
And Owen made a nice deep cut route. So it almost looked like the corner was biting on the go route. And then all of a sudden, Owen Hosh slammed on the brakes, cut to the sideline on an out route, and Robinson, just hit him right in the hands with it. Stop it in the clock here on the field.
I don't know if that's a play clock or game clock issue, but and maybe not even that. But it's a little role reversal right now. If you look at the stats coming in, Alburnett's got we're Columbus outpassing them by about 300-400 yards. But you flip the rushing game, they're out rushing Columbus by 500 yards.
Yes.
So
yep.
You're seeing a little bit of both with Columbus, but started establishing that run like you said, and then really opened up that passing game.
Yeah.
Got everything hammered out. Now Drew Schultz is going to get the handoff again. And that offensive line, at least right now, is getting a good enough push that Columbus is getting anywhere between 3 and 5 yards of carry.
And we haven't seen that in this season. This season, they're starting behind the chains. First down has been going for no yards, half a yard, 1 yard. And they've had a ton of 2nd and 9, 2nd and 10, 2nd and 11. So this has been a nice change of pace. The offense has come out ready to play, and we're in 2nd and short in a lot of these series.
It's going to be just another straight inside handoff to Drew Schultz. He's going to be up near first down. I think he's going to be a little bit short. I think that's going to bring up 3rd and long 2, maybe 3.
And this here, Bryce Nolan out with an injury is their main kicker. So I wouldn't be surprised here if most of these drives that get into the red zone are going to be 4-down territory. They don't have a real polished field goal kicker to replace Nolan with. So I think you're going to see if they don't pick it up here, you're going to see them go for it on 4th down.
And it's not only that, you're 0-5. Nobody wants to be an 0-5. Yep. That takes a certain amount of pressure off you, too. You can gamble a little bit more because, hey, we're trying to win the game right here. Robinson rolling out to his left this time. Wide open in the end zone. Touchdown, Columbus.
Owen Hosh made a great run. He made a great post route. It dragged across the whole field there. Robinson showed nice patience, waited for the play to develop, but the only reason he was able to do that offensive line, that might have been the best drive of the season for that offensive line. Kept Robinson clean the entire drive, opened up some nice creases for Drew Schultz. Really nice drive there. Positive yardage all the way around.
Yeah, you can't start a game better than that. Exactly what Columbus needed to start this game. Still for 2. Sailors, obviously, as you alluded to, Coach, we're going to go for 2. And I expect this is going to happen probably every time after a touchdown and any close 4th down you're going to go for it.
Yeah, completely agree.
They're just going to run just a straight-up run play. Drew Schultz doesn't really even get touched. He's in for 2. That makes it 8-0 and puts the game kind of a little bit out of whack because if you're the other team, are you gonna kick extra point or are you gonna try to keep up with the 2 points?
No, completely agree with that. Not having a kicker, being 0-5, does, like you said, take a little bit of pressure off it. You're just playing aggressive. You don't have to overthink things. You're just going to play aggressive all season. One of the nicest drives of the season for the Sailors. Now, the key is we've had some good first quarters. Now, can you sustain? Can you get a stop? Can you get the offense back on the field? We'll see what they do here on defense.
Yeah, and by and large, both these guys are going both ways, which you're doing in 1A football. But it's a good sign that if your offensive line is somewhat dominant that first drive, your defensive line, you're just going to switch spots.
Yep. Yeah, playing both ways. So it looks like kickoff duties have been delegated to Robinson. He also does the punting duties, so not super surprised there with Nolan out to see Robinson on the kickoff here.
So just a little squib kick. If Columbus could cover that, they would have I don't think it was truly an onside kick, but might have been. And they would have had the ball if they could have got up and covered that. But Alburnett does a real good job of covering it at their 48. The downside of that is you give Alburnett the ball on the 48.
I like the aggressiveness. You got nothing to lose here. You're trying to get in the win column, trying to catch Alburnett by surprise there. I have no problem with that play call there. And now you got to get your defense to step up.
So Alburnett, their first possession of the first quarter. And officials are stopping the game again. And here we go with Brody Kessner at quarterback. And, boy, a little bit of option kind of going there where he could have handed off to 2 or 3 different guys. And he hits an inside dive, and the running back rumbles for a first down and then some.
Klosterman, number 7 there, had a great hole on the left-hand side. Good ball movement, good ball skills by Kessner, the quarterback. But Klosterman had a big hole there, and he looks fast.
Yeah, Kessner and the quarterback. That is their 2 main guys. There's also
I think we'll see Caves here soon if that's not him right now.
Washburn is a big contributor on offense and defense. And right now, Alburnett's kind of dominated their line of scrimmage. Only 2 plays, but have got about 30 yards in those 2 plays, brings up a 2nd and 2.
It's interesting here. I don't know that I see number 24, Lakin Caves, on the field. He's their leading rusher. Do you see him, Bradley, anywhere?
Yeah. I actually think he's lined up at tailback right now.
That's the first play he's been in there then.
And he's going to get it too. He's going to get a quick little pitch and a nice run. Keeps those legs churning. He may have a first down, and he does have a first down. So the Alburnett Pirates will move the sticks once again. Drew Schultz on the tackle for the Sailors. Yeah, they got a 2 or 3 headed monster here with their quarterback and a couple good running backs. And like I said, they're outgaining up to this point the Sailors on the year, not in this game, by 300 yards. Boy, just another big, huge hole. That's going to be a touchdown. There was no containment at all. I don't know if that was, we got fooled on that, but that's Caves on a real, just too easy.
Way too easy. No one within 10 yards of the running back. That can't happen. Loss contained both on the defensive end, the outside linebacker, and the cornerback. All 3 players there got loss contained, and then just no pursuit whatsoever. So I'm not sure exactly what happened on that. But, defense has been a struggle this year. Giving up a lot of points. They've been on the field a lot. The outside's been open. The inside's been open a little bit. So got to try to shore that up today.
Looks like extra point by Milo Scott Smith. I could be wrong on that. That may be the quarterback, Kessner, on that. And it is good. Sailors lead 8-7. This may be you might just have to keep up with the Joneses score every time the way this is going, at least to this point.
Yeah, 5:36 left in the first quarter. We're already at 8-7. You answered our own question there, Alburnett. Not chasing points, not worried about the 2-point conversion there. They're just going to take the 1 point, and probably a smart play in the first quarter. You don't necessarily have to chase points and get behind on the scoreboard. You can just take your extra point if you got a good, solid kicker. And then, when you get into the 3rd and 4th quarter, see what the scoreboard says, and that can help dictate your decisions.
So with Nolan being out when the Sailors do kick off again, that brings up another point. You're going to need to make them go more of a distance to the field. I don't mind if you're trying a little onside kick here and there, but you can't give them 50 yards every time, any opponent.
No, you're absolutely right about that. Robinson will likely kick deep next time Sailors get on the scoreboard. You can't give the other team the ball at midfield every drive.
Looks like Justice Callahan on the kickoff, and that's a pretty darn good kickoff. Takes a bounce. Columbus picks it up. They're bringing it right up the middle. Little cut to the outside and then back to the inside, and a pretty decent return. Going to end up right around the 26-yard line.
Schultz picked the ball up, bouncing ball up. Took it right up the middle. Got a couple blocks. But right up to the 25-yard line, we'll start the next drive.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see now if because it looks like Alburnett. Not all those offensive and defensive linemen are the same. For Columbus, it pretty much it is. So this thing might be a shootout, but you're going to have to keep put points on the board. There's no doubt about it.
Nope.
Robinson, little swing pass right in Schultz's hands, and then drops it. They're going to call that.
That's a backward pass.
They're going to call that essentially essentially they're going to call that a fumble.
Oh, that's a killer. That one's a killer. To me, it looked like that was a forward pass, but we don't have the best angle up here. You got to trust the guys on the field. No, they're sticking with the call. They're saying backwards pass, which acts as a fumble. Drew Schultz can't bring it in, and Alburnett with the easy scoop and score. That's two really easy touchdowns that puts you in a bad position here.
Yeah, and that's one where I think Drew Schultz not only needs to catch it. If he catches that, I think he's going to gain some yardage. But boy, just a terrible break for the Sailors there. Pirates now up 14-8 in just essentially it's back-to-back plays. Take out that kickoff, and Pirates go up 14-8 with 5:21 left in the quarter. Let's take a short break. Justice Callahan to kick off once again. Nice straight kick to Columbus. Columbus fumbles it, bobbles a little bit, picks it back up. Now there's a hole.
Owen Hosh.
Owen Hosh may get caught by just one guy, and he does. Actually doesn't get really caught. Callahan was back after the kickoff just to protect, which is very good coaching there. That he's just he basically is playing a safety.
Yeah, he played back in center field there, stood back the entire time, kind of just waited at the 20-yard line. Owen Hosh maybe could have cut it up to the middle of the field, but he had pursuit there, and he felt that. So he tried to keep it up the sideline. Either way, great return down to the 24-yard line. Shortens the field for the Sailors here to give this drive a chance to regain the lead.
Yeah, good response by Columbus.
A lot of clock stoppages here. I don't know if we're having difficulty with the game clock or the play clock, but the head official seems to be coming over to the sidelines quite a bit, looking up at the scoreboard. So I don't know if we're having a play clock malfunction or what's going on. The play clock's not running right now.
Well, we had 50 minutes on the game clock too.
Gotcha.
Now we're back down to 5:12. So that's been about the third stoppage, and I think we're ready to roll now. They're going to reset the play clock, but it's under 20 seconds. Should not be an issue. Robinson and Schultz in the backfield. Just two receivers out to the right. Schultz will get it. He's going to find a hole, and he's going to ramble for some yardage here.
Yeah, this is good as the running game has looked all year, Jeff. A lot of holes. The offensive line working really well down there, working hard, trying to find a crease. And Drew Schultz hitting those holes today.
Yeah, like we alluded to a little bit earlier, this might be a shootout. What we've seen in the last 5 weeks at Columbus, we don't want a shootout. But what I've seen tonight, I think you can safely say we can keep scoring. We're going to be in good shape by the end of the game. Robinson all by himself now in the shotgun. Going to throw a little inside screen, and that is going to be just short of the first down. Looks like about a 3rd and 1. Hosh on that reception.
They're going to move the chains, gave him a good spot there. That's the second time they've run that jailbreak screen to Hosh, and it's worked both times.
I like how coach is keeping everybody off balance here, and that's one of the times, if you're outgunned, you got to take a little bit of chances. You know this. You got to take a little more risk. Now, what happens there? Risk reward, right? If you throw a pick six, that's a bad risk. but I think he's keeping the Alburnett defense up to this point in the game just enough off balance with his play count.
No, a great balance of run and pass right now. You're seeing some good play calling, and then really what you're seeing is great execution as well.
So now we got trips to the right. Robinson, the quarterback, going to hand it to Schultz. Schultz going to just bury his head and drive. And that's just going to be a short gain of just 2 yards.
So now back in the red zone. Sailors converted on their first trip to the red zone tonight. You got the ball on 2nd and 8 on the 10-yard line. You do have room to get a first down on about the 2.5-yard line down there. But I would expect Coach Schmidt to go to the air here and try to put something in the end zone.
Yeah, I mean, essentially you've got 2nd, 3rd, 4th down just to get that first down or the touchdown. Because I do not believe they're going to try to kick a field goal. So that opens up the playbook a little bit. Schultz on the handoff again, keeps driving. He's going to get 3 or 4 yards again. Offensive line doing a good job of the initial push.
A nice push by the offensive line, like you said there, Jeff, but then also Thomas Wall came in, number 7, the fullback, and had a nice kick-out block to give Schultz just enough room to sneak behind there and get a couple yards. 3rd and 5. See what the Sailors do here. 2:49 left in the first quarter.
But once again, you've got in the back of your mind, I've got 2 downs to pick up that first down.
Yeah, absolutely.
It says 3rd and 4 in the scoreboard. That looks like about a 3rd and 6, honestly, to me, at least with the where the chain gang's at. That's going to be a touchdown, Sailors. Robinson throws a dart.
I got to say, this is the cleanest the pocket has been all season long. Those hogs up front, those hosses, they are moving guys. They're keeping guys off of them. They're keeping Robinson clean in the pocket. He's got good throwing lanes. Receivers are doing a nice job getting open. But really, these first 2 drives, this is all that offensive line. You got Kofi up front. You got Humphrey up front. You got Rudy Lind. You got Augie Trinan. Just all moving guys. It's been impressive these first 2 drives.
And I thought Robinson did a good job. He was in the shotgun, just took about a 1 or 2 foot drop and passed it, got rid of it. Now going for 2 again. And it is going to be, I think he could run it or pass it. He's going to pass it. If they catch it, that's a 2-point conversion, and it is. So the Sailors back on top now, 16-14 over the Alburnett Pirates.
Great rollout there by Robinson. Another good ball fake. They bid on the ball fake there up the middle. And Thomas Wall just leaked out into the flat there from the fullback position. And he was wide open for the 2-point conversion. Sailors looking really good on offense.
Sailors look good, and you got to tip your hat to Coach Smith. They're 0-5, but this is an 0-5 team that's actually, you're ahead of a 3-2 team that just broke in the rankings. Calling a fabulous game right now offensively.
Yeah, he absolutely is. The big question here is that you got 2.5 minutes left in the first quarter. What are we going to do on defense? What did you see on that first drive? Obviously, the touchdown went, but, they were just taking chunks of yards on the running game. We're going to have to close those gaps. But what are you seeing, Jeff?
Well, since they've got such a good running game, I think you have to really bring more guys in the box. And once again, that's risk reward. And if they pass, that puts a lot of pressure on your cornerbacks and your safety. But I think you cannot let them get 8, 9, 10 yards of carry.
I would agree. You got to stop the run first. And if you can stop the run first, and then you can kind of, sure, you might get burned once in a while, but you got to stop the run to start high school football.
A good long kick that's going to bounce. That's in a great spot if Columbus can get down there. And nice, they cover the ball fairly well. But I thought, boy, just a yard or 2 more, and you could. That'd be a 40-yard onside kick.
Robinson popped up that kick and put it basically like in no man's land. Put it towards the sideline between the up backs and the linemen. That was a really nice placed kick, and they cover it well down to the 23. Interestingly enough, as we're talking about the D-line and you bring in another guy in the box, they have now adjusted to the 5-3. They were running a 4-4 to start the game. It looks like they're in a 5-down lineman, 3 linebacker set.
Well, boy, Alburnett rambles for another 7 or 8 yards. The issue having 5 down linemen is if you break that first level of containment and you take out one linebacker, that's what you get. You get a second one.
Yeah, you get an 8-yard gain there.
But you've got to do something. You got to try to match that offensive line power from Alburnett right now. And the one good bonus you have here is if they're going to score this time out, Coach, they got to go the whole distance of the field.
Absolutely.
Now a little pitch out. Columbus closes quick on that. That's the best play that Columbus has had right now. That's not going to be a first down. That's going to be a 3rd down and about 1 yard. And I guess I'm old. My eyes aren't very good because they gave them another first down. And I don't know if the field's crooked or I don't see very good, but that's a first down, Alburnett.
That's good stuff. Yeah, better job sealing the outside there, but did give up the first down. They only needed a yard, so now you get a fresh set of downs here on a 10-yard field, and see if the Sailors can get a stop here on first.
Once again, they're bunching. They had 8 basically in the box there, but as they break through that first line, part of the line there,
Caves on the carry there again. He's a tough kid to bring down. Only a sophomore. But I think he's got over 600 yards on the season coming into this game. He's leading their team with 86 carries already in the first 5 games. And only a sophomore. He looks like their workhorse. Tough to bring down.
Yeah, Sailors primarily a team of sophomores. Have some juniors and seniors sprinkled in there, but mostly sophomores. But Alburnett, a couple of their better, the talent guys are sophomores also.
Yep.
Now just another handoff to Caves, and he's going to rumble. He got hit roughly a yard past the line of scrimmage and still pulls Sailors 7 more yards.
Hey, we've got to wrap up. We've got to get hats to the football. We're taking guys one-on-one right now. We need 2 or 3 hats on the football. We need some backside pursuit. And we've got to wrap up there.
Alburnett back in the shotgun. They're going to run the ball again, and this one is now going to get stopped and actually go for a little bit of a loss, maybe a yard loss. So that'll bring up a big 3rd down as the quarter ends at about a 3rd and 4 for Alburnett. So as the quarter expires, Sailors up 16-14 over the Pirates. We'll be right back. And we are back to action here at TJ McLaughlin Field. Starting the second quarter with the Sailors up 16-14 over the Pirates. Pirates big 3rd down early in the game here. 3rd and 4. And they're going to run the ball and try to get that first down, and they will get stuffed and lose another yard. This will be an interesting call on the Alburnett. They're on their on the Columbus 45, excuse me.
4th and 4, if they'd have gotten a yard or two there and you're on the 45, you're 4th and 1, 4th and 2. In high school football, you're going for that. It looks like they're setting up to go for it.
Yep.
But 4th and 4 is a heck of a lot different than 4th and 1 or 4th and 2. Nice third down stuff there.
They are in the shotgun, just one tailback. And some
Sailor's
going
going
to
to take a timeout here.
Coach Smith's going to take a timeout and get reset here.
Yep.
Number one thing you don't want to do, obviously, jump off sides.
Well, and actually, we've had a couple of those happen in this season where they've been in a 3rd and short or a 4th and short, and we got a lot of young guys. Got a lot of young guys up front. A couple freshmen playing, a lot of sophomores, and just some inexperience generally. But you're 5 games in. You're not really a freshman or a sophomore anymore. When you're halfway through varsity season or more than halfway through varsity season, it's time to get discipline, recognize the situation, stay within the game. And so obviously they're talking about that, the snap count, the cadence, watching the ball, because you definitely don't want to jump off sides here on 4th and 4.
And the other thing, too, is when you start looking at this district, at times there's been, of the 6 teams, there's been 4 teams ranked. Hudson was ranked. We played them.
Grundy.
Obviously Grundy.
Yep.
South Hardin will be next week, and then
Yep.
Obviously these guys.
Yep. It's a tough district.
So to bring a bunch of sophomores in, they're going to show maturation. They are going to mature, but it takes a little bit of time. These guys haven't had a lot of snaps. Actually valid, varsity snaps. But
Exactly right.
huge play here. 4th and I'm going to call it 5. They are going to pass the ball. He's going to get blitzed. That's going to get caught and go for a first down and bobbling it the whole way, but a great job of controlling that ball, and hats off to the quarterback and the receiver, Alburnett. Good concentration, got the first down.
And that's a bummer as a coach right there, because you could tell they're in the right defensive set. They had guys in the right spot. They executed on the field pretty well, but the pass goes just over the fingertips of the Sailor defender. And then on the coverage, had pretty good coverage there, and the Alburnett player bobbles the ball all the way across the first down marker for the first down.
And you're about a split second away from getting a sack.
Yeah.
But hats off to Alburnett. Get a crucial first down for them. High snap, but just going to be a handoff. It looks like it's Caves again. Does a nice little stiff arm. They get him down to the ground, but not after a good 5 to 6 yard gain again.
Yeah, getting contained on that outside. Got to get upfield a little bit as the D lineman, as the DN there. Outside linebackers got to be there, and your corners got to play up. But yeah, five or six is too many on first down. But give Caves credit. He's quick to the outside, and they ran a little misdirection there and kind of ran an outside counter there. And he had enough space for 5 or 6 yard gain.
Well, he's already starting to be a concern tonight, but he's going to be a nightmare in the next couple of years.
Yeah, only a sophomore, according to Varsity Bound.
Another high snap and another inside handoff to him, and he maybe got touched, maybe did not get touched, but he is in quickly for the score, and Alburnett is going to break back out on top at 20-16, pending the point after attempt.
Well, I don't know what Vegas had the over/under at tonight, but they are putting some points on the board, turning into a track meet here. Caves in just really a simple handoff right up the middle. But their O-line doing a good job moving guys out of the way. Linebackers are getting gobbled up by that lead blocker. And like you said, he went through there 25, 30 yards basically untouched.
So point after attempt is true and good. So Alburnett Pirates go up 21-16 over the Sailors. And as we take a little break here, as the teams go to the sidelines before the kickoff. And the kick is going to get picked up by, looks like, well, it's going to be Haas. Now it's going to be Schultz. And he's going to get through that first line of attack, and he keeps those legs churning. He gets all the way almost up to the 40-yard line. Good run by
Aiden
Schultz
Haas.
there.
No, Aiden
That
Haas.
was
there.
Haas?
Yep. Yeah, well, Schultz had the ball first, like you said. He's the number 22. Schultz is the one that kind of couldn't get a handle on it. And then number 5, Aiden Haas picked it up, our leading receiver, and made a nice play, made a nice scramble right up the middle for a good return, set it up 1st and 10 on the 38.
So Sailors take possession offensively again, 9:53 left in the quarter, or I should say the first half. Robinson in shotgun. He's going to let one fly here. And receiver had his man beat, but that was a heck of a throw all the way across the field and out of bounds.
Yeah, Robinson let one rip. Good protection again. Had some time. That was a deeper 5-step drop. Owen Haas streaking down the sideline. Had his man by a half step, maybe a step. Pretty good coverage. Not a big window there to hit. The only thing I don't mind about that there, Robinson putting it where only the receiver can go get it. He's not putting that one in jeopardy or throwing a jump ball and risk turning it over. He threw it deep towards the sidelines, and the only one that was going to catch us was our guy. Owen Haas just couldn't quite get under it.
Yeah, it looked like Haas was actually looking on that inside shoulder, is what I thought. Then again, he just got turned around enough that, and then the ball was probably out of bounds anyway.
Yeah,
but
absolutely right.
Good to take a shot there. But now that's going to bring up 2nd and 10. Robinson's going to keep it. That was a quarterback keeper the whole way. That's going to go for negative yardage.
Yeah, that was a designed run. Unfortunately, Humphrey got beat there on the tackle position by the D-line, and Robinson wasn't able to break the tackle. That's a bummer right there. Now you're behind the sticks, about 3rd and 12, and you got to come up with something nasty here.
See what Coach Schmidt pulls up for this 3rd and long. And really imperative that, at least up to this point, you haven't stopped Alburnett. You're going to have to just keep up with the Joneses here. You need to keep scoring points. Rolls out to the left. Robinson does. And maybe just short arms that a little bit. I think the receiver was open there and just kind of landed at his feet. So that's going to bring up a 4th down for the Sailors.
Yeah, Owen Haas had his guy beat going toward the sideline. They were running that same deep out route. It looked like it was there. Robinson just kind of threw the ball a little short. Wasn't able to connect with Haas there. Going to have to punt.
Not as easy as you think throwing that ball on the run. But I think he had time maybe to set his feet a little bit. Well, and now we are going to I don't know if Sailors have too many guys on the field.
Yeah, I think they're calling an illegal substitution there. They either had too many men in the huddle or running guys on and off there to set the punt up. And with a couple injuries, Nolan's working with an injury. Augie Trinan has been injured on and off this year. Sometimes those substitutes, if they're young guys, aren't ready to come in.
End over end punt from Robinson. That's going to get a good roll. Just let it keep going. That's going to get inside the 20. So the Sailors do their job, at least on the punt coverage.
Boy, I got to say, the Alburnett return man came dangerously close to touching that football. But the referee right there on top of it didn't think so. Looked like it got by him. And the Sailors down the ball inside the 20. Nice roll release there on the punt by Robinson. He's been actually punting really well all year. Some good action on that football and rolls it down inside the 20.
So Alburnett takes over after the punt. Kasener back in the shotgun. Couple backs on either side. Columbus is bringing a whole bunch of guys, and that's probably what they're going to have to do. You're going to have to start – well, there's a couple things you need to do. You need to fill a bunch of gaps there, but then you need to make tackles.
They absolutely brought the house. You might be in the defensive coordinator's ear there, maybe, because I think you said that at the last score. They're going to have to start taking some gambles and some risks up front. They brought 2 linebackers along with their 4 down line. They brought 6 guys with pressure there, and they were able to stop the run there.
Kasener caves back in the backfield. Casey going to roll out to the right. He's looking to throw it, and he does. Looks like Klosterman gets that reception and rambles really close to a first down.
Boy, the D-line has had pressure on the quarterback, Kaesner, a couple of different times, and just a split second late in getting there. Kaesner has done a good job getting rid of the football, flicked that one out to Klosterman for the first down.
Alburnett back in the shotgun again, 2 tailbacks. They're going to run their own little screenplay. Looks like Case again, and he's going to go to the house unless somebody can track him down, and it does not look like it. He's having a whale of a game. Now he's going to have a touchdown through the air on that play.
Well, and you kind of set yourself up for that when you get over aggressive on the D-line and you send the linebackers on the blitz. A really good counter from an offensive standpoint is to call that screenplay. You get all that pursuit, all those guys in the backfield. They dump it over the D-line's head, and that thing went for about 70 yards for the touchdown. And Caves, boy, he's got to have about 130 all-purpose yards already.
I'd say at least that, for sure. So he's going to continue to be a thorn in the side of Columbus all night. Just the defense is going to have to, at some point, get a stop. With them being down 2 scores now, Columbus is going to have to obviously score, and then they're going to have to stop Alburnett at some point to stay in this game.
Well, and really, what it's about for the kids, you got to keep the foot on the gas on offense. You know, if you can get the ball here, put a score up, and you're right back in the game. But you're right, you got to get a defensive stop. We're going to take a quick break here before we go to kickoff.
And we are back. Columbus to receive the kickoff here. Schultz and Hosh deep. More of a squib kick here. Columbus will pick it up, one of the up backs, and he will get swamped under right at.
Oh, no.
And he might have got taken the ball, got stripped, just taken away.
Stripped it right away from him and in for another turnover for a score. Boy, that is a real bummer. Owen Hosh, the up back, took the squib kick. Looked like he had a decent return, and it looked like, I don't even think that ball hit the ground, Jeff.
I don't think it did either. I think he just
right out of his hands.
Snatched it. I haven't seen that for a long, long time.
Boy, 2 defensive special team scores for Alburnett. Up 34-16 pending the extra point here. And this has just been what's happened to the Sailors. They come out in the first quarter. They've been in games. They'll be up a score, down a score, but you know the first quarter has looked really good, and then just some mistakes, some miscues, misexecution, turnovers, and you find yourself in a deficit.
And PAT for Alburnett is up and good. That'll put 35 on the board for the Alburnett Pirates, 16 points for the Columbus Sailors. We'll take a short break. Alburnett to kick off again with 7:22 left in the first half. And they've started to break the game wide open, Coach, 35-16. Going to have more of a little squib kick again. One of the upbacks will take it, and he's going to ramble across to the 42, so good field position for the Sailors.
Well, like we were talking at the break here, Jeff, is you have to respond. You got some young kids on it. We talked about you're not really a sophomore anymore. You're halfway through your sophomore year. You're going to have to dig deep and respond here. You're down 19 points. Game's certainly not out of reach. 7 minutes left in the first half. But you can't just give the ball back and give up another score here before halftime. You got to do something with this drive, show that you belong in this game, and put a little bit of pressure back on Alburnett.
Yeah, and it looked like Columbus, the two scores they had, good sustained drives, running the ball. Got a little bit away from that in that last, went long right away, then got sacked.
It's a great point.
Now that's a real good play. Just Robinson just overshoots a receiver just by a yard or two.
Well, and he was under duress there. He had 2 or 3 guys in his face. He was falling backwards as he threw that one out there. That's a pretty good throw under pressure. Lobbed it up there, and Drew Schultz just couldn't quite get it. He tried to run underneath the lob pass there, but came up a step short. But again, like you just said, they had been running on first down. He'd been breaking off 4, 5, 6 yard runs there. We get down a little bit. I understand the tendency to go to the pass. Play clock running down here to 10 seconds. We don't even have the play in the huddle yet.
Called the play yet. We're at 5 seconds right now. It's going to be a real quick snap, or they're going to have to call a timeout.
Timeout. Yep. But we kind of go away from that first down run. Had established a little bit of a running game here to keep Alburnett on their toes. Now it's last couple drives to just come out and throw it. We'll take a quick break, and we'll talk about it some more here coming back to second down.
Seven minutes, 10 seconds left in the half. Sailors facing a 2nd and 10. Alburnett Pirates have widened their lead to 35-16 on that last touchdown. Robinson back in the shotgun. And it's a little screen pass, was set up good, just a little bit over Schultz's head there. And
good idea there to set up the screen pass on a 2nd and 10. You think they're going to bring a rush, anticipating pass. I like that play call, just couldn't connect on it.
Yeah, good play call. Execution lacking a little bit there.
Yep.
And it puts you kind of behind the sticks at 3rd and 10. Robinson running in the play from coach. Play clock getting low again, right about 10 seconds. They do have time to get it off. But another big play for the Sailors, trying to convert a first down. Robinson under some duress, has to get rid of it. And just
not enough time.
Yeah.
Not enough time. Defensive line, gives credit to the defensive line there from Alburnett in the backfield, in Robinson's face there on 3rd and 10. Somebody came through, either put a move on or came through unblocked. I wasn't exactly sure what happened there, but tough to complete a 3rd down pass there with a guy in your face. Tried to get Hosh along the sideline on another one of those deep outs. Just wasn't there.
That will force the Sailors to punt on 4th down here. 4th and 10, Robinson back in punt formation. Another end-over-end kick should get a decent little bounce, and that will drop dead right at the 20-yard line.
Nice angle kick towards the sidelines. I like it when the high school kids don't kick it directly at the return man. Make him work for it. Angle it towards the sideline. That's been beautiful the last few games. Another good roll right down to the 20, flip field position a little bit. But this defense is really going to have to step up and show something.
Yeah, and it's not only crucial right now with 6:53 in the half. You're going to have to stop these guys repeatedly in the second half to stay in the ball game. I think every possession they've scored, plus they've had 2 defensive scores.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yet to get a stop here.
Caster back, just a little toss to Case, and maybe the shortest gain he's had all night at no gain, or maybe a little. That's about
They stopped him for no gain there. That's the first time Caves has touched the ball that he hasn't gone for a big chunk of yardage.
Yeah, I got to mark.
Nice job.
Mark it actually as a yard loss, which
2nd and 11 here. Really got to do something here on defense. You can't go down 4 scores. You're already down 3 scores here with 6.5 minutes left. Can't go down 4 scores. Alburnett gets the ball back in the second half.
and incomplete pass, just a little quick out, and number 18 from Alburnett did the right thing because it was almost carbon copy of first half when they picked up the ball. He goes, well, just in case it's behind the line of scrimmage, I'm going to pick this thing up.
That's exactly right. Fell to the ground there, and there was a little bit of a delayed whistle. I wasn't sure if the referee saw that it hit the ground and was going to blow it dead, but he did. And here we go, 3rd and 11, a great opportunity for a stop deep in Alburnett territory. 3rd and 11, let's see if the defense can step up here.
Yeah, and some of the problem here, coaches, too, it's 3rd and 11, but I don't know necessarily, I don't 100% know they're going to pass this.
No, I agree.
They get chunk yards with, so you can't sell out that it's going to be a pass 100%.
I think we had early movement. I think that's going to be on Alburnett on a false start. Oh, the delay of game. They didn't get the play off. That's a big 5 yards. Now you're at 3rd and 16. Now maybe you are having to sell it on the pass. Although with a 19-point lead, you could simply run the ball here, see what happens, and punt it away, and you're no worse off. I'd be surprised if Alburnett gets too aggressive here. They might go back to that screenplay. They've gotten some yardage on the outside, the caves. There's been some room out there on the sweeps. We'll see what they do here, and the Sailors can get a stop.
Pretty high snap. Kaesner does a good job of corralling it. Looking for a receiver, throws it up for grabs, and it's a pick by the Columbus Sailors, and boy, did they need that play.
And that's exactly what I was getting at. I was surprised. I said I'd be surprised to see them get too aggressive. That's exactly what you don't want to do with a 19-point lead backed up in your own end. There would have been nothing wrong there with handing the ball off and punting the ball away. But this gives the Sailors a spark. They get the ball back at the 30-yard line. Still 6 minutes left in the half. You're down 19, but you're right in this ball game if you can convert this interception into points.
Robinson runs in from the play from Coach Schmidt. Still 12 seconds left on the clock. 30-yard line right on the dot. 1st and 10 Sailors. Robinson gets the ball. He's going to keep it. He can run it or throw it. He's going to throw it. Nice little pitching. That's a really good catch.
I got to say this. That was an excellent route by Owen Hosh. It looked like it was supposed to just be a little hitch. Robinson on the play action fake rolled out, and Owen Hosh was blanket covered by that corner, and he just made a quick read and went 3 steps down the field. Robinson saw the read, led him on the pass, and that turned into a beautiful 12-yard gain, got the ball at the 18-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, that sure looked like to me that he had to really, really dot that I because there was a guy in front and a guy behind. Great pass, great catch. 1st down Sailors on the Alburnett 18-yard line. Set up in shotgun once again. Robinson, hand off to Schultz. Schultz going to ramble for I don't know if that's a 1st down if I can't tell from this angle, but that is a huge gain of at least 8 or 9 yards. Looks like 8 yards.
Great hole by the offensive line there. Kofi on the left side, and I can't see who's on that tackle position, but Kofi, the guard, and the left tackle might be Faraday, I believe.
Yep.
Opened up a great cut, and then Drew Schultz looked like he was going to go outside and then cut it right behind his blockers for a nice gain. 1st and goal from the 7-yard line.
So once again, go back to the run game that really has dominated when they've used it, and they are 1st and goal on the 8. Schultz going to get it again. He's just going to keep driving those legs.
I think he got 2 or 3. They went right back to that left side, right behind Kofi and Faraday. Nice play. We both said we were a little surprised that they went away from the run game during that second quarter. Looks like coach is going back to it a little bit.
Yeah, Drew Schultz having a nice game so far in this first half. Got some nice real gains for the Columbus Sailors. Robinson back in the shotgun again. They're going to move a couple guys to the right side here. Robinson's going to look to throw, and that was a little bit off target. You know, if he puts it right on his number, he's going to catch that right at the goal line.
That was a dangerous pass. A couple of defenders right on the goal line there. Robinson did a good job keeping it out of harm's way against the defenders, but yeah, missed his target a little bit. Had to try to jump back for the ball there. All in all, a good shot at the end zone, though. You're still 3rd and goal from the 5. You're definitely in 4-down territory, so you got 2 plays here to get it in.
And the receiver did a valiant job of getting his hands on it. But when your momentum's coming towards, back towards the middle of the field and it gets thrown to the outside, you just kind of have to set your cleats and try to catch that ball. But now Schultz Schultz will not get a good fake. I thought we were gonna get a flag there. Looked like somebody was all over Haas right there in the flat.
He slowed up. I don't know if he gave up on the route or didn't think it was coming his way or was getting held. That looked a little strange there with the contact, but the referee didn't see enough to throw the flag. Now you're in a 4th and 5 situation. You kind of back up. You reverse a couple of plays here, and you're 2nd and 5 on the goal line. I'm not so sure you don't. I mean, hindsight's 20/20, obviously, but if you don't run 3 times from the 5, that you don't get in the end zone.
Yeah, hard to argue with that right now. That they've got some chunk gains running the ball.
Yep. But if one of those 2 passes gets in the end zone, we're not saying that. So
and now we're not going to run the ball. Amani all by himself in the backfield. Oh, that's a good play by Alburnett. Maybe held that just for a half second too long and broke it up. So Columbus will turn over on downs. The only plus side there is, it's kind of all or nothing. You're going to get a touchdown or you're going to give it back to Alburnett, and you got a deep in Columbus territory.
Yeah, it looked like number 4, Varner, on the corner job. Had a nice job jumping that hitch. I don't know if he just read the route well. They saw something on film and prep for that, but he made a nice job and swatted that ball down. So now the defense going to have to step up here.
That quarterback still in the shotgun. I believe that's Caves with the ball again is going to get a good little 4 or 5 yard gain.
Set up 2nd down here. You really need a 3 and out. You're going to need to put some points on the board before the half if you're the Sailors, and the only way to do that is to get another stop. Alburnett, as you said, has scored on every drive except for the last one where we had the pick by Robinson. Oh, now we got a flag on the field, and it looks like it's going against the Sailors. Tripping call on the Sailors. I didn't see it. Obviously, the referee team did.
Yeah, it's a big one. Personal foul, so that's a 15-yard gain and gets them out of that coffin down there. So now they've got some room to actually operate. So huge mistake by Columbus there. And Alburnett will be 1st and down from their 24-yard line. Another handoff to Caves. Now we've got a flag coming in from the back. The back judge here.
Usually in the area of holding would be my guess. See what the call is. Or we might have.
Look, personal foul. His hands to the face, it looked like to me.
Yeah, personal foul on Alburnett. That 15 yards goes right back the other way. The big difference, though, is that instead of 1st and 10 here, now I got 1st and 25 from about the 11-yard line.
Yeah, and with 4 minutes left, unless they get a big chunk gain here, I would think they would be fairly conservative with this big lead they have. But
agreed.
They don't have to pass the ball for big gains. You can hand off to Caves. And with the yardage he's got tonight, boy, he can ramble.
Yeah, he's an athlete. Got to wrap up. Did a good job stopping that one at the point of attack. But again, Caves bouncing off and gaining yards after contact. His yards after contact tonight are really impressive, Jeff.
Yeah, he's a strong runner, but he's also got he's dual threat. He's got some speed too.
Yep.
And he can catch the ball. I mean, there's nothing not to like about that.
Yeah, good player.
Alburnett coming back up to the line here. Boy, second, just a ton of yardage. Sailors are loading the box up, 7-8 guys there.
Another high snap.
Going to be a quick pitch. Yeah, I've noticed that with Alburnett, their center has had at least half the snaps are shoulder height, if not higher. That might come into play at some point where there's a snap that Kastner can't handle.
Yeah, he's floating it back there a little bit, getting a lot of air under it. You'd like a little bit more direct snap right to the chest and right to the hands of Kastner. But he's doing a great job of handling that football and not turning it over. Got a 3rd and 12 here. Another opportunity for the Sailors to get their second stop in a row, and still plenty of time. 2:40 left on the clock if they can get the ball back here.
So Kastner back in the shotgun again. There's a back on either side of him. He's going to go deep. And Alburnett wide receiver just makes a better adjustment on that. Ball was underthrown, but he adjusts and makes the catch, and that's going to give Alburnett Pirates first down.
And is it any question of who that receiver was? Caves. Out on the outside, one-on-one with a corner. Great coverage. The corner had great coverage over there. Unfortunately, those underthrown footballs, if you don't get eyes on them right away, they're tough to adjust to. Caves slammed on the brakes, came back to the football, made a great catch, and they convert on 3rd and 12.
So Alburnett with a fresh set of downs. Almost a little razzle-dazzle there. There's 3 backs in the backfield. Weren't sure who was going to get it.
Sailors did a nice job. Faraday in there on the tackle. Rudy Lind was in the backfield. Kofi was in the backfield. That was a really nice job by the Sailors. That was some nice defensive line play right there to stop that on for no gain.
Yeah, it's going to go 2nd and 10 now. The Sailors have had their chances here in the last couple defensive situations where they intercepted, and they're at least making Alburnett work for some of these. Another high snap. Long pass. Once again, Alburnett makes the adjustment.
Oh, boy.
Columbus DB falls down, and he will prance into the end zone for a touchdown.
Same thing on that 3rd down. The ball a little bit underthrown. I mean, great coverage by our corner over there. Great coverage. But I think that was Klosterman. Made a nice adjustment to the ball. Yeah, Klosterman, number 7. Made a nice adjustment to the ball. Came back. And then after made the catch, broke the tackle. Corner fell down. And that's just too easy. Once again, another easy score by Alburnett.
Well, Alburnett scores again. Moves their score to 41 points. Here comes the point after touchdown. Kick is up, and it is good. That will be 42-16 with just a minute 20 left. Just a little bit of time in the first half for Columbus to get something cooking. Let's take a short break. Alburnett kicks off. Up back takes it for the Sailors and gets through the first couple lines of attack for Alburnett, and it's a good return. Columbus has had no problems getting good field position off these kickoffs.
A great field position, and the offense is moving the football too. Stalled at the 5-yard line there. We were just talking at the break. If Columbus punches that last drive in and doesn't give the ball right back to Alburnett, this game could easily be 34-25. 35-24. Instead, Alburnett gets a stop on their goal line and then takes it in about 4 or 5 plays, takes it down the field, scores another touchdown up 42-16. Sailor's going to have to really, really put some points on the board here to stay in this one.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. You're going to minute 13, only one timeout. going to be really precise with what you do here, and not risky enough that you want to just give it right back to him. Wide open, Columbus Sailor had both defensive backs at least 5 yards behind him, and just need a little bit more air under that ball from Amani Robinson.
Yeah, Aiden Hosh had his man beat. The safety came over to try to help on the deep route, but wasn't there in time. Had 2 steps on his guy. Robinson put a little bit too much on it and overthrew the open receiver.
And of course, Brad Schmidt's looking at that, going, "Hey, we need to make that play. We need to make that play in the fiercest way to stay in this ball game."
Yep.
Now just a handoff to Drew Schultz, and that is going to go for just a short gain of 1 or 2 yards. Now that Columbus is under a minute, they might just run this clock out.
Yeah, I would anticipate Alburnett's not going to call timeouts on defense. Up 42-16. We'll see 3rd and 7 here. You're certainly not going to be in a hurry. 42 seconds left in the half. Looks like they're just going to take this one all the way down. Coach Schmidt, no time, no hurry to call a play, and he's going to call a timeout.
Timeout taken by the Sailors.
We'll take a quick break. Back here with 29 seconds left in the first half. Sailors 3rd and 8.
Got Robinson back in the shotgun again. We'll see if this is going to be just a handoff to run out the clock, and it does not look like it. Robinson's going to throw a ball a little bit off target. It's going to go incomplete with 24.9 seconds left in the half.
That was a little strange there. It didn't look like either of the Hosh brothers there. It's a miscommunication between them and Robinson or something. Neither one of them were looking for the ball when that was thrown. Falls harmlessly incomplete, thankfully, but sets up a 4th and 8. The Sailors are going to have to punt here.
Yeah, and I guess, if I'm Coach Schmidt, I'm telling Amani, hey, angle this thing, and I want it going out of bounds at some point.
Yep.
And so there's no return. It's going to go right back. That's going to be that's a good catch by that Alburnett guy. He had to fade back and catch that, and it was a good fair catch, and they're going to take over possession on the 15-yard line. My guess is they'll have a one-run player. They'll take a knee and head in, but
we'll stay
never
here.
know.
The action, 18 seconds left. Yeah, nice job by the Alburnett return man. Called a fair catch there. Kind of a wobbly knuckleball punt there. I was a little surprised because Amani Robinson has angled his punts towards the sideline all game. He kind of kicked that one a little straighter, but didn't hurt the Sailors here. I'm going to guess that Alburnett will just kneel on this, but maybe not. They come out 5 wide. They might be taking a shot.
Yeah, in the shotgun, so we'll see what happens. It's going to be an inside handoff. Looks like the Caves, and, of course, Columbus stops that, and that will wrap up the first half. So we'll be back live. We'll take a break over halftime and talk at the 3rd quarter. All right, we are back to live action. Start the second half. Columbus Sailors will kick off to the Alburnett Pirates. Alburnett stretched out that lead, Coach, in that second quarter, 42-16, with a couple defensive plays that, not saying to put the game out of reach, but boy, really, now Columbus has their work cut out for them.
Yeah, down 26 here, kicking the ball away. You're going to have to do something really special to get back in. Oh, little razzle-dazzle reverse there. Looks like Caves got the handoff on the end around on the kickoff there. Sailors covered it pretty well out to the 35. Little surprised to see them put that on film. That's one you might want to save for later in the year. But with a 26-point lead, a little surprised to see them put that one down there.
Makes a lot of sense to me in the way that, hey, as much as you can get Caves the ball, get him the ball.
Yeah, amen.
That guy's a player.
Yeah, definitely one of the better athletes on the field tonight.
So Alburnett will take over here, 1st and 10. And just an inside handoff to Caves. He's going to rumble for about 5 yards. He's not down yet, though. He might go for 6, maybe 7 now with that added effort.
Strong kid. Again, we've said it a couple times tonight. Only a sophomore. He's going to have a wonderful high school career ahead of him. He keeps working in the offseason, gets a couple of blocks, and, boy, he's been tough to bring down for the Sailors tonight.
Yeah, and I don't know about the Alburnett record books, but starting just as a sophomore and then gaining all these yards,
yeah,
he might be the guy by the end of, the Alburnett record book.
And when everything's said and done tonight, he's going to have 700 or 800 yards rushing tonight. He came into the game with 6.
And that's Alburnett comes out aggressive on that second down. Nice little, just a little slant in, and going to move the chains.
Boy, I gotta say, Rudy Lind had great pressure there, and he's a big, tall, strong kid. He was in Kaesner's face, and Kaesner did a great job sidestepping the rush and throwing a dart to the inside slant there. Really nice play by Alburnett. Sailors almost batted that one down at the line of scrimmage.
Boy, and they call their play, and they're right up. I'm not going to call it a hurry up, but they don't mess around too much as Kaesner hands off to number 24 again. And he's going to get like a short gain this time, just a couple yards.
Yeah, Caves there on the carry, 2 yards. But you're absolutely right. They are in the huddle a very short period of time, maybe 4 or 5 seconds, and they're signaling the play in. And look at that. They're breaking the huddle with 25 seconds left on the play clock. Doesn't give your defense much time to catch their breath.
Columbus remaining in that 5. Looks like a 5-2 to me. They're going to blitz a linebacker. Kaesner rolls out to his left. He's going to connect. Columbus will stop the forward progress of the receiver with about a 5-yard gain.
Franklin there, number 26 with the catch. Owen Hosh did a nice job wrapping up that open field tackle. That's something the defense has been struggling with this year, is getting the first man to the football, make the tackle instead of having the opponent go another 2 or 3 yards. But he did a good job stopping it there. 3rd and 5 here on the 43-yard line.
Huge player at 3rd and 5. My guess is they would also go for it on 4th down if it's a 4th and 5 or less. But Kaesner in the shotgun. Caves behind him. They're having a short discussion. Kaesner gets it. Just going to hand off to Caves. Caves gets hit right away, but he's going to keep those legs driving and get all the way up to the 40-yard line. It's going to make it a long yard for 4th down, but maybe 2 yards, but no doubt in my mind they're going to go for this thing.
Thomas Wall did a great job from the middle linebacker position there, filling the hole, filling the gap, made great contact right at the point of attack. But Caves just kind of gave him the limp leg and slipped off the tackle just a little bit. Wall hung on to bring him down, but Caves was able to stumble forward for a couple of yards there. We got a 4th and 2. Big play if the Sailors are going to try to get back in this game.
Yeah, we got a stacked backfield in the shotgun. One back out looked like he broke maybe a little bit early, but Caves going to get the ball, and he's going to get the first down. He's going to get a little bit more than that. Nice little spin move. Gets brought down, but not after they convert the first down.
I absolutely thought that there was movement in the backfield there. It looked like we had 2 running backs both leaning forward before that snap. Refs did not call it. Tough to ask for that call when you're down 26. You're going to have to do something on your own here. And they get the first down plus a few more yards. And they are deep in Sailor territory, coming up on the 30-yard line here.
Kaesner back in a shotgun again. 2 backs to his, and Columbus going to step off sides. Just another mental error that will give Alburnett a free, easy 5-yard gain there.
Yep, just a hard count there by Kasner. Came up under center. He has been working from shotgun, and I wonder if that's not a design there to go on the hard count as he comes up under center because he doesn't do that very often. And sure enough, gets the Sailors to jump, and they're going to have a 1st and 5.
Alburnett back over the ball. Kasner in the shotgun again. 2 backs in front of him, 1 behind him. He will get the ball. It's going to be Kasner again, and he gets brought down after a short gain, but still it's going to make it a 2nd and 3.
Yeah, Caves on the handoff there. They run that, Alburnett runs a little bit of a strange formation where 2 running backs are split, but they're in front of the quarterback that's in the shotgun. Plus, then they have a tailback behind you. It's almost like a modified wishbone that the 80s Gophers up in Minnesota used to run. But
you can
anyway,
inside handoff either one of those guys if you want, or you can give it to your stud in the backfield.
yeah, a lot of misdirection. They're out in that same formation here.
And then you've got a couple lead blockers there. I kind of like that.
Yep.
Keeping Columbus off balance, at least to this point. Another high snap. But Alburnett will again convert that 2nd down into a 1st down.
Yeah, pretty big cushion there from the cornerback. We were back 7 or 8 yards from the line of scrimmage. That's an easy pitch and catch to the outside receiver there. Goes for a gain here, another 1st down inside the 20-yard line of the Sailors. Alburnett already up 26 points. The Sailors, if they want to stay in this game or have any hope to get back in it, are really going to have to come up with a stop here or a turnover.
Yeah, no doubt about that. This is a nice, long, methodical drive again by Alburnett. Another high snap. Kasner's done a really good job of handling all those. Pretty good pass there. 18 couldn't come down with it. Good coverage by Columbus. But in no way you're going to intercept that thing. So either the receiver's going to catch it or he's not, and you go 2nd and 10.
Yeah, he put it exactly right. He put it where only his guy could get it. Owen Hosh on the coverage there, number 2 from the outside linebacker position. Follow that back out of the backfield and made a nice play. Had one hand behind the guy to rip him down if he does catch it, and had his left hand extended to bat the ball away. Nice defensive play there by the Sailors.
Caves again with the ball. Nice open field tackle.
Caves on the carry.
Looked like that might have been. Yeah, Augie Trinan comes up from his middle linebacker position or his linebacker position to make that tackle.
That was a great tackle there on number 52, Trinan. He's been a really bright spot on the Sailor defense, and only a freshman. He's going to be around for a while. The Sailors like that. A lot to build on with him. Made a nice open field tackle for no gain. We got 3rd and 10.
Yeah, defensively, he's got a really good nose for the ball, and then he's the anchor of the line when he's the center. So, yeah, good things to come for Augie Trinan, no doubt. Kasner now is rolling out. He's going to his right. He's throwing it up. I'm not saying it's up for grabs, and that should have been intercepted by Columbus. Actually, that almost got twisted in the sense where Columbus was the receiver, and the Alburnett receiver actually played defense there and knocked it out of his hand.
Absolutely right about that. Aiden Hosh on the coverage there, had great coverage. Another one of those underthrown passes, another underthrown ball, but this time the Columbus defender, this time it was Hosh, made a great adjustment for the ball, came back for it, and you're right, the Alburnett receiver had to turn into the defender and try to knock that one away. Lucky that one wasn't picked off.
Yeah, and there's most of these games come down to 2-3 big plays, which this has so far. And there's 2 plays that we can think of. If Columbus turns their head, knocks them down, or intercepts, they're right in the ball game. They're going
right back
deep
to
again.
The corner again. Oh, falling down. The receiver's falling down, Jeff, and makes a catch from his backside. And Kasner, I don't even know if he was throwing to a spot, but just kind of flicked it out there. And both receiver and defender were falling down, and as he goes to the turf, the Alburnett receiver comes down with the ball for another score for the Alburnett Pirates.
And to make that even more dismal, that was 4th and 10.
That one's a tough break.
If you could just knock that thing down, get in front of it, anybody make a play, Columbus gets the ball on downs. Credit Alburnett. screw it up. Their receivers up to this point have really outplayed the DBs for Columbus. I mean, they've made the adjustments on the passes, and they've scored.
Yep,
So now with that score, 48-16, 5:43 left in the third quarter, we will be right back. Back live, TJ McLaughlin Field, Waterloo, Columbus, trailing Alburnett now 48-16. Just a smidgen under 6 minutes left in this third quarter. That kickoff is going to bounce. Drew Schultz will pick it up on the bounce, and that's a good open field tackle right there by Alburnett. The reason it was because there was a face mask, I believe.
I was going to say either a face mask or a horse collar, but that hand was up pretty high on the shoulder. Either caught him in the face mask or the shoulder pad area. You're going to get a horse collar here, which should be good for another 10 or 15 yards for the Sailors.
Yeah, so the return's out to the 31. That should put it at the 46, if that's a 15-yard penalty, which I believe it is.
I believe so.
So now Sailors have great field position. Now the big question is, can they convert? Now, the dichotomy here, Coach, now is you can run the ball, but now you really don't have time to run the ball. But I think maybe you still run the ball, try to keep them off balance.
Well, you still want to put some work in here. You still want to execute your playbook. You want to execute the whole playbook. You don't just want to throw it up for grabs every play here, even though you're down. This game's probably out of reach. But you go back to the run here, first down, because your linemen still need to develop those skills. You got a lot of kids, young kids out there, a lot of freshmen, sophomores. So you still want to have something to build on for next week and next year.
Schultz on the short gain of 2 will make it a 2nd and 8 for the Sailors. Robinson run the play in as we speak. He will remain in the shotgun with Schultz off to his left. 2 split out to the right. Now we're going to have a little quarterback keeper. Alburnett has a pretty darn good little an RPO. Well, not even that. It was basically we're going to fake to the fullback. We're either going to give it to the tailback, I should say, or the quarterback's going to keep it. Quarterback kept it for short gain.
Yeah, designed run there. I really like that play call. That's what I felt was missing maybe in the second half or second quarter a little bit. I really like that play call. Not executed perfectly. Couldn't hold the block. Couldn't spring Robinson for the first down there, but that play has been there tonight.
Now 3 split out to the right, 1 to the left. A little razzle-dazzle here. Good block by Schultz to spring Hosh. Hosh is working his way up the field. He will be short of the first down.
Nice play there. Good execution. Drew Schultz was about ready to get creamed in the backfield there, and he was able to pitch that one to Hosh coming around the end from the receiver position. Owen Hosh made a man miss at the 50 and got another 2 yards after contact, but still does set up a 4th and 4, and really no choice here but to go for it by the Sailors. Down 32, you got nothing to lose.
Absolutely go for this.
Yep.
Yeah.
Want to maintain control of the football here, keep their offense off the field, and see if we can keep this drive alive.
Play clock getting low. They're going to have to get set and hike this thing quickly, and they do. And that's another pretty good play. Going to come up, a yard short, and they're going to turn it over on downs. But
That one you got to tip your cap to the defense. They read that one. I love that play call. That jailbreak screen's been there. A really nice open field tackle there by the Alburnett corner. That one really should have gone for a first down. Great play call, good execution. Alburnett was just better. They were just better on fourth down there.
So Alburnett will take it over on downs. Now they're 1st and 10, excuse me, from their own 46-yard line. They have scored just about every time they've had the ball offensively. And then a defensive score tonight. Another short handoff to Caves. And guess what? 5-yard bunch right there. No big deal.
Seems like he just falls forward and he gets 5 yards just by falling forward. Tough kid to bring down. O-line's doing a good job opening holes.
Another handoff. This was not to Caves. Giving Caves a break. But then it goes for a loss. So they will probably not hand off to anybody else but him the rest of the game now.
You know, one thing you like to talk about is some of the bright spots, and we got to give a shout out to our production crew tonight, Jeff. Brandon with B2 Productions on the production here, and Matt from Iowa Media hooking us up with some great equipment up here that makes this all possible to do the YouTube live streams for Columbus Sailors.
No doubt about it. Thank you, Brandon Bolin. Been with us for a long time. Does real good work. That's a very good little, right on number 7. 7 makes a one-handed catch. Absolutely great play by Alburnett. They're excited. They're getting another first down out of this.
Yeah, number 7 Klosterman, senior played a little quarterback according to the varsity bounce stats, but primarily receiver there, and he almost tipped that like off his fingertips, tips it to himself, keeps his feet moving, and made a really nice catch and move upfield there for the first down.
So Pirates again on the move. Columbus coming with a blitz, and they don't fill the. Now they're just a gap off right there, and you can't help that. You're guessing a little bit.
Yep. You bring the run blitz into that A gap, and it goes the other B gap, and you just you're coming in, and then you're trying to hold the other gaps with your linebacker position there. Snuck through 4 yards again on first down, sets up second and middle yardage. That seems like where Alburnett's been the entire game is 2nd and 4, 2nd and 5, 2nd and 6.
Yeah, and we used this word earlier. Just methodical, just draining drives on the defense.
Yep.
Alburnett, I really like their offense.
They're really controlling the clock here in the second half.
Just a little pass out to the wide receiver there, but that's going to go for about a 15-yard gain and another first down. They're hitting on all cylinders right now.
Yeah, Sailors don't have any answers on defense right now. That looked like Buchers possibly, number 18, a junior, only one catch on the day or on the year coming into the game there, getting an opportunity, made a nice catch and a nice move. You know, this Alburnett team really throws to a lot of different kids. They throw to 6 or 7 guys, and I apologize there. Buchers only has 1 rush on the year, but he does have several catches. He's got 6 catches on the year coming into tonight.
Yeah, they actually spread it out. Run-wise, they don't. Run-wise, this guy right here, Case, and his knee hit the ground there. He gets the majority of the carries.
Yeah.
Pass-wise, they've got 6, 7, 8 guys right around double-figure catches.
Yep. No, they absolutely do. Tough to key. You're not keying on one guy. As you prepared throughout the week for the opposing offense, there's no one receiver that you're keying on. I mean, they've lined Caves up wide on some plays, but they've got 6 or 7 guys that can all catch the ball.
So that was a very fast third quarter. Pirates ahead of the Sailors 48-16. Let's take a short break before the fourth quarter. or not. We are back to live action here. Alburnett, another high snap, but does no damage. And there goes the running back once again, and he's going to get a first down.
But Caves with another 10 yards there on 2nd and 9. Just too easy around the end there. No contained by the Sailors. And he's got maybe they're going to give him the first down. It'll be first and goal on about the 9-yard line.
At the Sailor 9.
Yeah, and no contain there. He gets that corner real easy, accelerates through that, doesn't get hit until about the 8-yard gain, and then he gets 2 or 3 after the fact. Robinson coming off the field, getting a little blow here defensively. Another handoff, and this is not the Caves. It's number
Looks
7.
like
He fumbles in the end zone, but he is in for the touchdown.
Yeah.
Goes in for the Pirate touchdown.
Pretty big gap there to run through. Didn't get touched until about the 3-yard line. At that point, it was too late. Stumbles his way into the end zone. Alburnett extending their lead, 54-16, with the extra point try coming here shortly. One thing we should talk about a little bit here, Jeff, is Coach Schmidt has been here before. When he first started his coaching career at the Sailors, there were not a lot of players out. He was program building, right? When he took over, 10-ish years ago, he was program building, and they didn't get a win in their first couple seasons.
Yeah.
So, this community and this school here puts a lot of faith in him. He knows how to build a program. I mean, I think they've gone on a run 6 or 7 years in a row in the playoff appearances. He has stacked up a ton of wins as a program the last 6 or 7 years. He knows how to rebuild. So sure, you got some young kids out there. You're taking your lumps this year. You're losing some games. You're trying to get in the win column this year. But there's no question he knows how to build an off-season program, knows how to design an offense, knows how to get great coaching on the defensive side of the ball. The future is it's a tough year looking in, when you're looking in the mirror this year, but there's definitely some bright spots and things to build on, and they have a great young core that if all those kids are coming back next year, have an opportunity to make a little bit of noise.
Yeah, and I don't think anybody in the community thought you're going to go back to the Dome like they did last year.
Sure.
It was definitely a rebuild, a lot of young guys. Now, when he lost a couple of those, it was at least 2 seasons, I think, without a win, and really not very competitive either. I mean, getting beat up on a regular basis. A couple things happened there. They were the smallest 2A school, of course, for 2 years, so that didn't help.
Yep.
So when they got to 1A, now you're fighting apples and apples. And then the second thing is they built that new weight room, and guys actually committed to it and used it. And then you were having grown men playing instead of guys that just kind of thought it was a hobby to play in the fall.
Yeah. No, you hit the nail right on the head there. Is that and that's what thing about program building is the culture. We always talk about the culture, and Coach Schmidt has got those guys. Those guys, it's not an option of going to the weight room. It's just something you do. And I remember your boy played, my boy played here, and it was just expected, and it didn't bother them. They enjoyed going in the off season and getting better, getting stronger. A lot of maturity happens between that sophomore and junior year, and even more between the junior and senior year. So they're going to look to go back to the drawing board and keep building that culture in the weight room in the off season.
Yeah, and one of the big things with our kids, I mean, the expectation was playoff. I mean, there was 6-7 years playoffs, and then very easily could have been in the Dome a couple of those years. Finally broke through last year.
100%.
Yeah, I don't feel sorry for the guys because this is what it is.
Yeah.
This is easily the toughest district in 1A. There's no doubt about it.
Yep.
But you got to compete.
Yep.
And are you a little probably undermanned right now? Yeah, you are, because you guys don't have guys that are quite can't blow guys off the line like we've seen in the past few years.
I mean, in years past, you've had kids out there that are pushing 240, 250, 260. Our heaviest offensive lineman right now might be 180, and that makes a big difference. But these kids are working hard. Coach Schmidt obviously has the right scheme and has shown a lot of success in high school football in his career. So this, sure, is this a minor setback? Yeah. Do you want to be here 0-5? Of course not. No team wants to come out and go 0-5. But they've got a lot of special things to build on. They've got a great culture to rely on as they continue to get kids working hard in the off season. So lots of good things happening here, even though the record might not quite reflect that.
As we say that, Columbus second down, they jump right there, get penalized 5 yards. So now it's going to be about a second. Excuse me, about second 15. Now, one of the other things is you can really use a season like this as a motivating factor. Robinson goes deep and just 2, 3, 4, 5 yards overthrown.
That's
by
been the
Drew
story
Schultz.
tonight. Just a step or two out of reach. Haven't been able to connect on one of those home run balls. And that's been a Sailor bread and butter the last several years is that deep ball. They've always had fast receivers. And Imani Robinson is connecting on a few of those this year. But today that ball hasn't been there.
But I'll get back to the point where if a season like this doesn't motivate you to just work your tail off in everything, it doesn't have to only be the weight room. I mean, it's agilities, it's your other sports that make you good in football. Then you're not going to have that success you think next year. But my guess would be this is, I mean, boy, if this doesn't burn in your belly, get losing this many games in a row, then
You're absolutely right about that. And those are the kind of players you want. You want this to bother them. You don't want them to go into the locker room and be okay with a loss like this against a team you really should have competed with. Even if you are a little undermanned, you still should have competed in this football game. You gave up a defensive score. You gave up a special teams touchdown on the strip fumble there. But this you want this to bother the kids so that exactly right. You get that fire in your belly in the off season.
So with a 4th and 15, Robinson will punt, and he does. It's another end over end, and it's going to roll. Alburnett.
He thought about it.
Thought about it, and there's just no sense in that at this point, really. They're going to take over on downs at the 45-yard line.
Yeah, smart play there by the return man. He thought about coming up and taking that ball on a hop. Another thing I'll give the Sailors credit for tonight, a nice pink out by the student section here. They came out to support their classmates and their schoolmates here. Nice turnout, really nice turnout in the student section. Got to be close to 100 kids down there and really cheering loud and staying in the game, even though down 54-16.
And the band was
support.
the band was fire at halftime.
Yeah, that was great. That was good stuff.
Just a little inside handoff. That's number 40. Who's that big
Number
boss?
42.
Holy cow.
We're going to look up the lineup. Henry Hopp, another sophomore. Boy, this Alburnett team's loaded with sophomores. Henry Hopp for his 3rd carry of the year. That now gets him into positive yardage. He unfortunately had 2 carries with -3 yards on the season, and they go to big number 42 in the fullback, and he rambles for 8 yards there, gets into positive yardage for his season total.
Good for Henry, and he's a big
dude.
Too. And I think
They just went right back to him.
I think they want to get him some reps, and why wouldn't you?
He lost a yard there, but they're going to big 42 there, rumbling, bumbling, stumbling, but brought down for a yard loss there on second down. Sorry,
just a second or two under the 6-minute mark in the game. Alburnett's going to come up 3rd and 5. It looks like they're bringing out a few of the backups here to get some reps in, and that's just a real smart thing to do by the coaching staff.
Yeah, you want to stay healthy. You want to stay healthy here. They've got number 12, Cameron Roberts, in at quarterback right now, just a freshman. In at 5'7", 145 pounds. Freshman Roberts in there, number 12 at quarterback. We already mentioned Henry Hopp in the sophomore, getting some carries, number 42. And I see a couple other younger kids out there. Just smart, classy move there by Alburnett. You got the lead, you got the running clock, and you want to go into next week healthy.
And you get some of these younger guys reps. They work real hard in practice, too, and they deserve that. So,
and that's part of the program building we talked about. It's different when you're playing on Friday night under the lights than if you're playing on a Monday afternoon or a Thursday after school or something like that. So getting these young kids that see what it's like to play in front of a crowd under the big Friday night lights, it's good all around.
You also look back, some of those last 3-4 years where Columbus made some real hard runs into the state playoffs. They always had, at least in my estimation, the best guy in the field.
Yeah.
You go to Ben Sinnott, obviously in the NFL now.
Yep.
But then you ran right at the next guy, the next year, Alex Feldman, I think was the best guy in the field in every game. And then last year, pick Parker
Yeah,
Chelsea,
pick about
pick,
6 or
pick,
7
pick Mason
guys.
Knipp,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
And of course, that's what you need. You need a bunch of difference makers, at
Yep.
least one. But it always helps. Like last year, you've got a whole ton of 4 or 5, first team All State guys, and you make the semifinals. That's how you build these guys up and hone them to a good finish.
Well, and that's why you're not necessarily concerned about the program future here, is because a lot of this is just age. You got a bunch of sophomores out there, you got a handful of freshmen contributing, but that's going to mean something in a year or two. I mean, that you build a lot of experience and a lot of depth there. When these guys get to be upperclassmen, it could be something special.
So Alburnett sitting at 3rd down and 6. I would think it'd be just a long stream of runs. But boy, they're wearing down Columbus defense.
That's Henry Hop, number 42 on the carry again. Looked like Owen Hosh on the tackle on the outside. And Augie Trinan also on the tackle there. He's been nursing an ankle injury, and he looks like he's getting up a little gingerly on that ankle. That's not what the Sailors need. We need him to stay healthy. And maybe, I don't know if they don't have a lot of depth. Obviously, a little bit of a smaller team this year from a numbers standpoint. So, tough to get substitutes in when a lot of your starters are already freshmen and sophomores.
So Alburnett moves the chains. 1st and 10. Another handoff, but boy, they're going to rumble for another 1st down here. 2:30 left in the game. 2 minutes 30 seconds.
Milking the clock here.
Only need to run 2 or 3 more plays, and this game will be over. But these Alburnett backups, they're hungry. They want to score a touchdown.
Yeah, these JV kids coming in, a lot of freshmen and sophomores getting some playing time here, and they're just as hungry as anybody. They want to get in and prove themselves, set the stage for their future career, and good athletes. Anytime you get an opportunity, you grasp it with both hands and you run with it.
And I could see the Alburnett coaches slowing this thing down too, where they don't want to hike it more.
Well, and you've seen the play clock's at 5 seconds right now. We mentioned earlier in the game they were coming out of the huddle with 25, 24, 23 seconds left. Classy move there. They're not going for the end zone there. The freshman quarterback does kneel it down, and it looks like with their play clock resetting to 40 seconds here, they might have to snap it maybe 1 or 2 more times. And I think this one's gonna wrap up at 54-16.
So the Pirates will improve to 4-2 in overall play, and they're looking at depending on how their last 2 games end up, they're looking at a playoff berth.
Yeah, I would expect to see them in the playoffs here.
You're going to be behind South Hard. You're going to be behind Grundy.
They do have to play Grundy, but then they do get East Marshall the last game of the year. So Grundy's a tough one. But, from what I'm seeing, it looks like they can hang with them. And they do, I believe they get Grundy at home next week, which Grundy's a different team on the road than they are at home. So the defending back-to-back state champs will play Alburnett next week at Alburnett. And then Alburnett's going to finish with East Marshall. So they've got a good chance and already have a win against Hudson. So they've got a good chance to finish in that 2 or 3 spot in the district.
Probably 3. I don't think
South Hardin in there too. Yeah, they're a tough team. Yep.
So once again, in our view, obviously the best district in the state, just loaded. And Alburnett will take a knee, and with 30 seconds left, that will be the ball game. Alburnett Pirates 54, Columbus Sailors 16. For Brandon Boland, I am Jeff Bradley. Coach Marcus Chelson, thanks very much. See you in 2 weeks. Good night.